inch and an 8 inch. Right now I'm going to be doing just the template in a 36 inch vent hood. We're going into drywall right now just for this demonstration, but I would recommend going into wood studs. If you don't have wood studs, then you have to go into the drywall. We used 110-pound anchors with a 1/4 inch by 3 inch stainless steel bolt and a 1/4 inch washer to go around that to make sure it has a nice snug fit on the spacer template. So right now I'm going to grab the hardware and then we're going to install it. All right, so we got our 3-inch bolts with a washer, just so it doesn't sink through that cutout right there. And the reason we do cutouts like this is so if you did want to use a bigger bolt and drill straight into concrete or wood, you can. But since we're doing it in the drywall with anchors, we need to add a little bit of a bigger washer to grab on to this gap. All right, so I'm going to line up the first two, just so I can get these bolts in my hand. All right, so on the vent hood, it's gonna come with a ducting kit. This is to hook up to your ventilation off of the two blowers that are inside. You're either gonna have the option to go straight out the back like this one is, or off the top. Just for the purpose of this hanging demonstration, since we don't have a cutout on the wall, we're gonna remove this with just 6 screws, self-tapping in there, and we're just gonna mount it this way just for the demonstration. All right, so once you get the vent duct cover removed, you can see their blowers right now are currently coming out the rear, but these can actually be flipped to come out the top as well if your ducting needs to go from the top of the vent hood and not the back of it. So we're gonna undo the self-tapping screws along the perimeter, and that'll free this panel up, and the blowers are actually connected to the panel, so we just flip it, put it up top, and we'll show you that in the next clip. All right, so once you have your screws removed from the perimeter holes, it really is simple. You just kind of tug this out, and then you'll notice that it's connected, but you can just flip it, place it like that, slide it in, line the holes up, you're good to go. So we're gonna throw the hood up there. Definitely use 2 people. You could use 1 person if you're extremely strong. I would recommend 2. We're just gonna line up the holes and let it sit on them, and then we're gonna screw it in. All right, everybody. So these bolts take a 1/2 inch hex nut. As you can see, I started a couple up top. So I'm just gonna get those hand tight at first, just to secure the hood. And then once we get them threaded, doing this by hand, just kind of threading them up there, makes it a lot easier for when you get a wrench up there to tighten them down. So once you get them there, I'm gonna take my socket wrench and I'm gonna start tightening them down. All right, guys, so we got the top bolts done, we got the middle bolt done, and we got the bottom bolt done. And we're ready to move on the other side. We're gonna do the same thing, and then you'll be good to go. All right, so we got the vent hood installed. We're ready to go. It's solid, it's not coming off that wall. We only used 4 anchor drywall screws in there, and it held up really well. We're really happy with how it came out. You can see how well flush mounts to that template in the back. You can also see how easy it is to install this. If you've ever installed a vent hood without this template, it's an absolute pain in the ass. And no one wants to do it. It's such a nightmare, such a disaster, but me, the rookie, and a couple other dudes, took us about 5 minutes to do the whole entire process, and pretty happy with it.